As we know, it's obligatory to wash the impurity of a dog 7 times. And one of these 7 washes must be with turab, with dirt. And the Hanabila also say that you can use soap instead of the dirt. But there is an apparent problem with this when you contemplate on it, which is that the Hanabila also state in other chapters that if you mix a substance with water and this substance changes the qualities of the water, the color, taste, or smell, to a large extent, then the water becomes tahir, meaning it loses its ability to purify. It can no longer be used in purification. So if we're mixing the water with turab or soap, obviously the color or the taste and the smell is going to be changing. Now with turab, this isn't so much of a problem because the Hanabila mention this as an exception to the general rule. They explicitly mention this as an exception. They say that even if the turab changes the color and the qualities of the water, it is still considered purifying. Because turab in and of itself is a purifying element in the sense that it can be used in tayammum. But the problem remains for soap, because soap in and of itself is not purifying. So this is an ishkal that I had for quite some time, and several suggestions were proposed to kind of solve this ishkal, to solve this problem. Some suggested that we can simply place the soap on the area of impurity and then pour the water over it. So technically we're not actually mixing the water with the soap. But the problem is the Hanabila explicitly mention you cannot do this. Rather, you must mix it with the soap and then pour this mixture onto the area of impurity. Another suggestion was that we can simply put a small amount of soap into the water so that it doesn't change the qualities to a large extent. But there's another problem with this, which is that the Hanabila also state that it must be a sufficient amount of soap such that it is sufficient to fully encompass the area of impurity and to actually have an effect. And obviously if you're using a small amount, this isn't going to happen. So this ishkal remained with me until I came across the Hashiyah of Shaykh Abdullah Aba Butayn on Sharh al-Muntaha, until I first got access to the book. And in this book he quoted a very precious quote, which as far as I know this quote is not present in any other book that I've come across, which he quoted from As-Safarini, that he said that if you are using soap instead of turab, you must wash 8 times instead of 7, because it will make the water tahir. So you must do it as a separate 8th wash. And this is something that Hanabila in general need to pay attention to, because as we know, most people nowadays, they don't actually use turab when purifying dog impurities. Most people, they use soap. So if you're using soap, you need to wash 8 times instead of 7.